It's time to get your risk on. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for watching. I'm Digitalic, and we're doing fixed capitals on Alcatraz today. Now, you may be asking, hey, Digi, why are you so big in the frame today? And I'll tell you why we're so big. It's because we're doing a live dub over. Unfortunately, when I recorded this video, we lost the game audio. My AI-powered background noise filter decided to update itself, and the update was broken, and it made me sound excruciatingly tinny. And the mic audio was unusable. But this is a great game, and some crazy, hilarious shit happens in it. So I really want you guys to experience it. So we are going to try and salvage it with a dub over. And I was able to save some of the game audio. You'll hear game audio as long as I wasn't talking. If you see it kind of mute out at certain spots, it's probably because I was talking at the same time. Anyways, this game's crazy, so let's get into the action. Obviously, we are the green player in the third position, and we have an absolute god spawn for the noob corner. So much so that I can just place my cap, take the bonus turn one, without even placing troops in the noob corner. And that'll allow me to put troops anywhere I need on turn one. And that'll become important, as you can see. So the blue player takes the top caps in the top left, and then the purple player immediately reverse cucarachas them by taking what their god capital in the top left. I take my obvious cap. And now the red player ends up capping on this 2 here. There they go. And then we'll go look and see where pink caps. Pink ends up capping on this 6 down here. So pink cucarachas red, and that will become very important soon. The purple player asked me for an alliance, and I accept. Now look where the black player caps. Unbelievable. One of the craziest cap picks I've ever seen. I mean, shit like this happens all the time in Alcatraz, but why on earth would you cap in between these two players? Anyways, it is what it is. Poor purple, poor blue. All right, the blue player, very slow player, by the way, and a very bad player. Very new at this game, so we understand why you're bad, but hilariously bad. And anyway, it took me so much editing to make this player's turns seem faster. It was a lot of work. But anyway, they just take a card and pass, and they stack their capital. The purple player's kind of handcuffed, so they do the same. A very fast player gets a take, passes their turn. I didn't have to do much editing for them. So it's my turn now, and I end up just putting all 5 of my troops on the 3 in the middle of the board because I want to be pointed at all this action. And again, I can take the bonus turn 1, fortify the 7 in, and I've got noob corner turn 1. Let's go. It's insane. All right, so red's turn. Blue asks for alliance, and I accept. Red does something a little bit interesting here. They end up stacking their capital. Then they roll a 5v2 in the middle board. And then they start attacking my 8 stack. I guess they were offended by me doing that. And it's funny, they start rolling single dice, so they completely fail, as they should. You never roll single dice in this spot. And they take nothing off of my 8. They do no damage to me, so we move on to pink's turn. Now, the pink player, let's go look a little bit closer at the pink player. They stack their exterior. They end up rolling my 3 off their capital. Then they roll the 9v4, and they fortify off cap to the 6. So they come off cap right away. That'll be very important shortly. Black's turn. Black wakes up and absolutely bombs all of their troops into purple's cap. Doesn't stop there. Rolls everything they can into purple. For some reason, this player hated purple. We just started the game. Why does this player hate purple? I don't know. They even roll the 4v4 on the right side of the board. It was absolute mayhem. And he feeds the plus 17 3 capital god position to the blue player. Or so I thought. You would have to be psychotic not to take this 3 capital position. The blue player, God bless them, takes black's capital, and then stops right there. Doesn't roll the 14v6 to take the god position. Craziness. Luckily for purple, they're still in the game. They get a card past their turn quickly. So it's my turn here. I'm just going to pause it a little bit because it's a little bit fast. I make a mistake here. I decide that I'm laser focused on the top left and not the red and pink situation. So I end up doing this. I put all my exteriors on that position. I roll reds 2. And then I don't fortify back, and this was a mistake. I reinforce the capital at the bottom right. This is a mistake, and you'll see why now, because look at red's turn. Look what the red player does. He smokes blue's 4, smokes blue's 1, rolls the 13v10, gets a great roll, and ends up stealing pink's capital for some reason. And then just leaves it at that. What the hell was that move? The pink player obviously wakes up and just takes red's original cap. But I'm thinking to myself now, man, I wish I hadn't closed myself to this. The red player, super annoying with the emotes, so I end up muting them. However, luckily for me, by this time, the black player had bought it out. And the black bot does the Lord's work and reopens me to pink's capital. All right, so the blue player does something interesting here. They put... No, actually, they don't do anything interesting here. They just get a card and pass, as does the purple player. These guys are handcuffed right now. Purple gets a card and pass. Now it's my turn. And obviously, we want to go and get pink's capital. We don't really have enough to afford to take both capitals on this turn, but we can get pink's capital. So we place on the exterior position. We roll black's 3. We get a perfect roll. We roll black's 5. We get another perfect roll. And then we roll... Sorry for all the movement. We roll pink's capital. And we get almost even. Great roll. And I'm super happy. We've got a 12 cap guarding that. We get a wild card, which means that we have a trade on 3. Now we go to red's turn. Not much. Red just rolls black's 2 and ends up going back to capital, takes a card and passes. All right, it's pink's turn now, and I believe at this point pink is a bot. They've decided to quit because they lost their capital. So pink just doesn't get a card that turn. Black's a bot. The black bot takes its 3rd card, passes its turn. Now we go to the blue player's turn. The blue player does a little something interesting here. They end up taking all 7 of the reinforcements and they put it on their external position. Then they take their entire turn timer to move all the way across the board and point those troops at me. And I'm thinking, that's weird. Then the purple player does something interesting. He gets a take, and then he starts manualing my god capital on the middle left side of the board. And I think, uh-oh, these guys are going to try and stop me. As they should. I have nothing against it. Now, it's my turn, and I'm not going to let that slow me down. I think about removing blue, but I decide, you know what? No. Let's not play scared. Let's stack and let's go and take our god bonus. And that's exactly what we do here. We go down, we roll it, we do a 2 dice slider. Boom. We roll red's capital. The great roll, almost even again. And then we finish off, take the bonus, come back to cap with a 15 cap. Great turn. Fantastic stuff. Now, this does feed the red kill to purple. Unfortunately, red didn't trade on 3 as I'd hoped, but he does manual into purple's capital a few times, which he, unbeknownst to him, actually helps the purple player. So I had to feed purple the red kill in order to take the bonus. I think it's the correct play. The pink bot gets a card and pass, takes its 3rd card. The black bot doesn't take a card here, which is important. Now it's the blue player's turn. This time they put all the reinforcements on their capital. They end up hitting me for a card. And I'm thinking, oh, they're going to start manualing me. But no, then he fortifies and starts pointing at the noob corner. Now it's purple's turn. This is a huge turn for purple. Purple wisely takes the black kill, as they should. This doesn't force a trade. But the red kill does. Who takes the red kill. And then the purple player ends up using all of their trade-in income, so the 10 troops they get for the trade, to start slow rolling my capital. I have nothing against this play. You need to stop me. I'm snowballing. His dice aren't that great, but they're not terrible. I mean, I'd say they're slightly below average. He doesn't do a lot of damage to me. I thought he would come off capital here, but he didn't. So it's my turn, and I'm thinking, okay, blue's on 5 cards. I'm going to trap the blue player behind purple, because the blue player is a noob, and he might actually roll purple's cap with his trade because he needs to get a card. That was my thinking here. It means blue can't open purple's capital back to me. So I end up removing blue. We fortify back with a 12 cap, which should be fine even with purple being on a trade. Pink bot trades and gets its first card after the trade. So I tell the blue player, hey man, attack purple. And he immediately breaks our alliance. Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, he still might roll it. He still might roll it. All right, he trades. And unfortunately for us, he chooses not to roll it today. So we go to purple's turn. So purple uses their trade again, and they start rolling my capital. And I get it. He gets a slightly better dice this time, but I don't think he does very well at all. Yeah, so about average dice here, I'd say. Does a little bit of damage. But what he does, though, is he fortifies off cap. So I'm just going to pause it here. He fortifies off cap. He releases the blue player. I knew he was going to do this, right? I knew he would. Doesn't matter. Even if I had removed blue from the middle of the board, I knew the purple player was good, and they would eventually release blue. So anyway, it's my turn now, and I'm trying to figure out what to do. Purple's stack is closed to me. He's only on 3 cards. Blue's about to take the mega position, and Blue's got a lot of troops. So I decide to do something crazy. I gamble on the purple player not having a trade on 3, and I do this. I take all of my reinforcements. I put a 21 cap in front of blue, thinking, okay, maybe blue will roll this cap, get a bad cap roll, and I can weaken that player. Pink bot gets a card and passes. Now, unfortunately for me, the blue player does roll my capital, and they go almost even. Now, I knew the blue player wouldn't come around and roll my other capital. They're not a very good player. They end up just removing me from behind them, and then they pass their turn. And then for some reason, let me pause it here, they fortify back to this capital, and they leave this one open. All right. So we go to purple's turn, and purple's slow rolling my cap again. And it's actually, he's starting to annoy me because it's getting to that point where he's no longer just trying to stop me. It's getting to that point where he's also trying to sink my game and his own game to let someone else win. And that's starting to piss me off. So anyway, back to my turn. And I decide to do the same thing. I reinforce my other capital, leave purple closed to me, and I decide, and I go, I'm going to go and put 9 troops in front of the blue player again and repeat the same move. Then I fortify a 2 up to my capital. Pink bot fails to get a card. They fortify away from me, and that's that. All right, so back to the blue player's turn. The blue player does something interesting here. Obviously, he rolls my cap. He gets a little bit worse of a roll. He goes about minus 1.4x. I find that I have a trade on 4. And the blue player just stops there. He's still open to me. All right. Purple player has a trade on 4. Starts rolling my cap again. I'm starting to get pissed off at this player. It's like, dude, you're feeding blue the world, and you're just ruining both of our games now. So I'm getting really pissed off at the purple player. He gets terrible dice on my capital, but now he fortifies all of his troops into my face, and now this guy's my enemy. I'm not going to help him in any way. I just want to see this guy get hurt. So anyways, I use my trade. I reinforce my position. I don't really need to do much else here. Purple says good game, and I give him a thumbs down and say, hey, attack blue. And he ends up giving me a heart and the thumbs up, and I just get a take on the middle of the board, and I pass my turn. I end up getting another wild card, so we're getting good dice, good cards this game. Pink player gets a card, passes, gets their 3rd card. That's the pink bot. So the blue player does something really interesting here. God bless them. They end up rolling pink. They don't take their bonus. They end up closing themselves to the main board, and then they go back to the capital. All right, so now the purple player does something interesting here, and we're going to pause it after their turn. They take a card and pass, but they fortify off me. But the purple player, very good player, what he did here is he set me up with a cap run. If we just advance a little bit here, we can see I have a 54. So I actually here, I checked the odds after, and it turns out that I have barely 100% roll on blue's capital. I'm not comfortable with that. I want a little bit more than 100% because you need to have 5 troops left over to roll the next 2 capitals, if you know what I mean. And also, I never actually checked the odds. I just decided that it was close, but it was too close for me. So I decided to take the line of removing purple and trapping purple behind the blue player. That would give blue a double trade on the next turn, but I have no faith in blue to know what to even do with that double trade. So we start working on removing purple. I've got a little bit of a grudge against this guy now. I think he was trying to feed a little bit too hard, as I said. It crossed the line where it's like, okay, you're just ruining both of our games now. So I give him a thumbs down. You know, I'm giving him the verbal business a little bit, and I end up going back to capital. Pink's turn. The pink bot, I think, traded here. Yeah, and it put a bunch of troops behind my capital. Not a big deal. It doesn't go and reopen blue to me, which is fantastic. I chirp purple a little bit more. Purple ends up breaking our alliance. The blue player trades and does the most epic thing I've ever seen. Takes his trade income. Bombs into my capital. Loses all of his troops, of course. And then he fortifies all of his troops into my face, giving me an easy cap run. So the purple player just knows that the game's over, so they don't even take a card. I use my trade. We go in there to do the cap run. On the way we kill purple, we show no mercy. They would have gotten fourth anyway, even if I cap run. They didn't have enough troops. But I just wanted to show them that I was displeased with them, and I didn't care for them, how hard they were going on me. We get the cap run, we finish the game, and it was a phenomenal one. But listen, I get it. He has to hit me and all that stuff. He has to hit me. But it gets to a point where it's like, dude, you're ruining your own game, and you're giving blue the god position, and you're starting to piss me off. But anyways, purple was a great player, as you'll see. It was a fantastic game, had a lot of fun. The blue player was an intermediate. The purple player was a grandmaster. Great game, purple. Red was a beginner. Pink was a novice. And black was a beginner. All right, guys, if you liked the video, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch, Kick, and X. The links are down in the description. Subscribe to both my YouTube channels. And until I see you next time, keep fighting that good fight.